you guys have been doing your YouTube channel for what, 3 years now?
Yeah. It's been a little over 3 years. It's
And
been a wild ride.
how long were you doing van life before your channel started?
2 years.
So you've been living the van life for 5 years now?
Yeah,
Yes.
and this month, yes, it's been 5 years.
Happy anniversary. And you two have been together for quite a while. How long have you guys been together?
Oh man, like 18 years. We were high school sweethearts, so.
You've been together for 18 years. You've been living in vans and cars and all sorts of stuff for the last 5, and you've had your YouTube channel for 3. What gave you the idea of starting your YouTube channel?
I think when we came back, we had just researched so much about doing a sprinter because we were committed at that point. We were like, this van life is awesome. We saw so much of Australia and New Zealand, and then we came here and wanted to see just as much of America. So we just were really researching, and we really wanted to give back, you know, like we were like, okay, we had to have like 5 windows open to do this one job. So like maybe we could put a spin on it where it's all, where what we think is important is in one video. That's kind of where it started, is to give back to the community that helped us get out on the road.
We just saw, just kind of, at first the project seemed so overwhelming, and then, you know, we looked to YouTube and saw a bunch of younger people doing it and making it happen. And then I think once we saw that, we knew we had it, and then we had to kind of like give back what we could, because we didn't really know that much either at the time. But it's been a crazy ride.
Yeah, and that's like our kind of premise, is like we're like 2 kooks. Like we don't know what we're doing. We're fresh at this, you know, and like if we can do it, you can do it, you know, and that's like all that we want to do, is like give people the courage to take on a project that seems so daunting, but like one step at a time.
I think that's awesome. Was your first van life trip to Australia? I saw you did that for like a year, right?
Yeah, we lived in Australia and worked there for a year and lived in our van.
Wow.
And saved a bunch of money so that we could go to New Zealand and do it as well.
You did that too? And you lived in a van in both places?
Yeah.
It all kind of started because we went to Australia, and we basically went to Australia off of just like having some friends from Burning Man telling us like, come out to Australia and live out here and we can help you get work. And we went, and it was a little more expensive than we thought. And we saw a bunch of surfers like living in their vans at the beach. So we were like, man, we better get a van, and we're going to have to go home. We bought like a $500 van, and we just made it work. We had it for a year. We drove that thing all over the place. We sold it at the end of the trip. It was awesome. Like, we just did it on a whim. We just like quit our lives in Seattle and sold everything on Craigslist, and that was it.
What lit a fire under us was the fact that we were about to be 31. And you can only go travel and live in Australia and get a work visa when you're under 31. So we were like, oh man, we got to go now or else we can't go at all.
Were you afraid to just sell everything, give up everything to go and do that?
There was a little kind of just thought of like, what are we going to do? It's only a year.
Yeah.
What are we going to do when we get back? But I don't know. I think we were just over like what we were doing and what, you know, just getting by paycheck to paycheck. And we just kind of, I don't know, we were ready for something new, and our buddies gave us an opportunity in Australia, and like, you make good money working out there. So we got work visas, and it worked out amazing. And now we're just still trying to figure it out.
What kind of work did you do out there?
I was a bartender for my whole way through college. So I just did that out there, and they really love Americans. They think we have really good service standards. So once they found out you're American, they're like, oh, you're on the team. So we got jobs pretty quickly out there. Yeah,
we both did like the same work, and we worked in like nightclub type situations. It was pretty fun.
How is that on a relationship, working in nightclubs?
We gotta work at separate clubs, I guess.
Yeah.
What was your plan for when you came back?
When we had left, we had also had just registered to be on Tiny House Nation. So we wanted to build a tiny home. before we left, and we didn't hear back from them that we were like accepted to be on it until we got there. So we had this money like set aside for it, but it kind of just turned into vacation money, and then we had to figure something out. We just kind of
it ended up being like van money when
Yeah.
we got back, because we had saved. I mean, we had worked so hard to go out there, so we saved up a lot of money. And then once we started living in the van and working, and not like, that was our first experience of like not ever paying rent and saving every dollar you make, and it was pretty life changing. So it was hard to go back once we had 2 years out there, and came back and we bought our current van for like $11,000 and did all the work ourselves. And now it's been our home for 3 years.
Your channel has a lot of really, really good information, and someone that's new to all of this just loves, because you step by step everything and anything involved in a build.
Oh, thanks. We really have tried to break it down, because I think people just think it's too like daunting, you know, and we just want to make it like easy, show people that you can do it, you know.
When you started the YouTube part to this, what were your thoughts going into that? What even got that started in your minds?
We had just had so many questions building the van on like YouTube that weren't really addressed. So we wanted just to be like, let's cover some of this stuff that like we're having a hard time finding out about. I mean, this was 3 years ago. Now there's like tons and tons of van stuff on there. So, I mean, I think it was back like, yeah, it was 3 years, or it was almost longer than 3 years ago, because we got the van 3.5 years ago, and it took us like 6 months to finish the project. So you're like very empowered. Now you can like build an off-grid home with that knowledge.
You guys kind of slowed for a little bit on putting out videos.
Yeah, we kind of do a lot, and then we don't. We get in these like I don't know, just YouTube is a lot of work, dude.
Yeah.
Like those people that put videos out every week, when we're on a roll, we can get on a roll, and then we get to the end and we're like, I'm good.
Yeah, we just kind of want to live the van life
but
too.
I like
a little
this
bit.
live stuff. It's much easier, like editing these videos and having these projects. And I mean, it's just a lot of work for us.
Tell us about the website now.
So yeah, we have vankookz.com, and that is like basically our DIY and travel and adventure like website. So it's got anything from building
Subaru.
Subaru Outback out to your vans, and then even how to obtain a work visa in Australia and how to buy a van in New Zealand. So it's got lots of info for people traveling, and like we specialize in like very budget traveling. So free camping, how that works, where to find it, stuff like that.
That's my kind of traveling. On a budget. What are you guys doing for a living now? Must get some income from YouTube, but that wouldn't be enough to live off of, right?
It's not enough.
Yeah, maybe if we did more, like we were more consistent, it might be enough. But we do like do the flipping of the vans, where we'll build something for YouTube and then we'll sell the van. Yeah,
we've had some people last year, they needed help, so we came out and kind of started their project. They paid us, and then we did that Sprinter project, and was pretty decent money. And we don't spend much money because we're just dirt bags living in the van trying to make it last. So
do you guys have like an early retirement date in your mind?
Oh, we're free-tired now. We're retired. We're pre-tired.
Free-tired. It's our buddy. He's actually got a really cool van. It's Steven at Free-tired, but we always use that term because he taught us it.
We love it, yeah. When we go on all these big hikes and stuff, we just did a bunch of national parks this summer, and we would get to the top of those things exhausted, and we're in pretty good shape, you know, and I'm like, I can't wait till I'm 65 or whenever the retirement age is to do any of this stuff, you know?
Exactly.
I don't think I could even get up, like, you know, in 2 years.
Venture before dementia.
Yeah.
Honest to goodness, that was the first thing that reeled me in. Because you guys are in that middle age range. You're not the really young ones, and you're not retired. So, you know, you're at a great age to do it, but it's just so different.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta have your side hustles, and your side projects, and some people are lucky enough to have really good jobs on the road, but we just make it happen, and that's
you just see every opportunity differently, you know, when you're like always looking for one that fits your situation, you know. You get different eyes for different opportunities, basically.
Where's the next big place that you guys want to be?
Definitely want to just have our own something, space or property or something where we can work out of, because we do a lot of work out of friends and families, like shops. I don't know, in a place where other vankooks can come and we can have a little campsite, or I don't know. We just noticed there's a lot of people in van life, and which is great. I love that people are getting out there, and it just seems like the spaces, they want, all the van lifers want like the community aspect, but it's really hard to find these places to go to because campsites are closing down and it's just getting really popular and busy, and the Forest Service seems like they're just struggling to deal with it. Talk to a lot of them and they're just like, yeah, it's been crazy this last year. Like,
especially because COVID shut a lot of the official campsites down. So there were a lot of people on the free areas.
But yeah, we'd love to have our own like off-grid tiny home, earthship, whatever it is. And also Danny's is starting school this month for integrative nutrition, so we want to be able to help people.
Yeah. We used to be vegan.
Oh, okay.
And now we're going a whole different route. But we were vegan for eight and a half years. And now we're 2 years into the eating meats and stuff.
Maybe we could have another channel where we're doing food and nutrition stuff in the van, but then we'll have, you know, separate from vankookz, and trying to figure it all out right now. We're definitely onto a new chapter, but we'll always, I mean, we have the van, we still are in it, and I mean, that's not going anywhere. And we're
just adding to the chapters.
Yeah, we do have, we're trying to figure out some new apparel, a new company, because Teespring, they're just expensive.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Adventure before adventure.
You have one video that hit 800,000 views. What did that feel like?
That was funny because we got Thomas in the video, who's just like our friend, and he was like just one morning like motivated to make videos, and he just like kicked Danny out of her job. He's like, we're doing van tours. He's like, Danny, I'm doing it. And she was just like, okay. Steven, he's a cool guy. He did a really good job on the van, and super smart guy. And I think he ended up building another van for some other YouTuber, and it's pretty sweet. They did an amazing job, and now he's working on a bus.
That's Free Tired. We
love that guy. Yeah, at Free Tired on Instagram. He's awesome. Yeah, we were actually amazed. I mean, it still grows, and I think it could make it to 1 million in the next year or so. And that would be pretty cool.
But when I saw his van, I was like, oh my gosh, we need a van tour of this, because the shower when you walk in, like, I've never seen that before, and it's such a good use of space. Like, usually we're not like big fans of showers in the van because they take up too much space. But the way that he did it, it was just part of his kitchen, you know.
He also you have a video with him with his shower too.
Yeah, because so many people wanted to know about this shower. So we saw him again at RTR, one of van meetup in America, like it's in Arizona. And we saw him there, so we made him use his shower and show us for the rest of the YouTubers that wanted to know.
One of the first questions that we had is, do you have any pets?
We do not.
No pets.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with all the moisture and condensation?
I mean, we have the roof vent that does an all right job, but most of the time it's just like, especially if you're in like Washington and Oregon, I don't really know how they deal with it, but luckily for us, we kind of stick to drier climates, like Bend, Oregon, and Northern California. It's a little bit drier, and like up near Auburn, California. Here in New Mexico, it's very dry. But the condensation and the van, it's kind of just like it's always going to be there. But yeah, we crack windows, we run our fan, and we don't have very many issues. Honestly, we don't have windows. I think that helps too.
Do you guys have solar panels?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you have for how many watts and then how many amps battery storage?
We have 300 watts on top on the solar, and it's all one panel.
Oh.
And yeah, it's like a huge house panel. And then, because I didn't want to deal with like crossing all the wires together, so I did that originally. One less thing to learn. And then, and then we have 300 amp hours of AGM
battery, and we have a 1500 watt inverter, and we have like blenders and food processors. We even use our Instant Pot.
Is your solar system still adequate when a person has less sun?
We have problems. I mean, one of the problems is just because we have AGM batteries. I think if we had lithium, we'd be easier to charge and less sun. But yeah, we were in Washington, and it rained for like a week, and like we were like literally like out of power. So yeah, you have problems, and like in those situations, you kind of have to just be like a little more mindful of your
consumption.
Yeah, consumption. The fridge is turned all the way down.
Is your bucket list getting shorter or longer?
It gets longer. The more you travel, the more
you find out about.
You feel like you don't do, and it's definitely well, it's never ending. I mean, you can't do it all, is what we learned this summer, because we tried.
Because now we're into climbing and mountain biking from van life, you know.
And hiking, and you see other climbs and mountains, and you're like, oh my gosh, now that we know how to do this, there's so much more.
What is the biggest bucket list thing that you have right now?
Figuring out property or something where we can
circle back to.
Yeah, always have, and you know, maybe start a little family and get a little more established, because I mean, we've been on the road for 5 years. I'm not going to give the van up by any means, but we're trying to figure it all out. And I think, you know, Danny's going back to school, so we're trying to, you know, next chapter, like you said earlier. Yeah. But we really want to go to Canada, like as far as traveling goes. Oh my gosh, that was the plan the last few years. The last year we missed it because our van took too long to build, and then this year COVID. I mean, we'll get there. Yeah, we really want to go up to like the mountains, because we went to Glacier and like we couldn't go anymore, and we loved.
That was just scratching the surface of like Canada-esque.
Yeah. British Columbia is gorgeous. Who's the better navigator and why?
I am the better navigator, but Danny is the better driver.
Yeah, true. He is like the best co-pilot. He's always like, he's so good at finding mountain biking and like within our range. You know, I don't want to go down some black diamond. I'm not very happy usually. So he always knows how, like, okay, we could do this and then we could stop here. He's just so good at it.
Yeah. So if you look at the vankookz website and you like those travel tips,
who's the better saver and who's the better cook?
I would say I'm the better cook.
I would say I'm the better cook.
Yeah, I know.
Danny's the better like meal prepper, chef, and then makes the sausage. I'm like the guy that cooks.
Yeah, he's the like cook.
The chef. Yeah. You know? That's what it is.
Who's better at saving money?
Oh, she is. I am. Or she's, I don't know. We're both pretty good at it at this point.
It depends on where we're at. Like if we're in the co-op or something and there's like really good chocolate, usually I slide it in the basket and like hope he doesn't find it.
Is there a meal or a recipe that you cannot live without? Like you need it regularly, like every week. What's your favorite dish?
We have a new dish that we can't live without, and it's shashuka. It's Israeli dish, and it's like leeks and arugula, and then you just put eggs in it, and you put coconut.
Yeah, it's kind of like everything you got.
Yeah, just kind of in there.
But a dish we can't live without. I mean, we really like to make like really good breakfast or like mid brunch, bacon, eggs, like, and some greens and some potatoes. I mean, I think that's our.
Yeah, I can't live without.
How long have you been growing your dreadlocks?
Oh, it probably like 7 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7 years. They're pretty long. They're like longer than my normal hair now.
Are you guys doing keto now?
Predominantly, we eat keto.
Yeah, we do a little bit of keto here and there, but every now and then, I mean, we eat carbs and stuff that's not keto. I think it's healthy to have a good mix of doing some keto stuff, doing some paleo stuff, eating some vegan some days.
Mm-hmm.
We do a lot of intermittent fasting too, so that's like keto mimicking, I think, or something.
So do you eat once a day then?
In the fall, sometimes we'll eat once a day, but twice usually.
Yeah.
Where are you headed to next?
We are probably going to stay down south, Arizona, Southern California.
Maybe sneak into Baja.
Yeah, we're trying to go to Mexico, but Danny's got the school starting, so we think we might just stick to the reliable
internet.
Yeah, to Baja one year, and it was great. Like this year, we've been here in New Mexico, and it's been
pretty
cold,
mild,
but we've been lucky. It's been more mild, but still.
We've been here, and it's been snow, like.
It's like 20 degrees.
So what internet are you using for the online school when you travel? Like, are you going to just plant yourself or just stay in one sort of local area?
Yeah, I think we're going to try and figure that out for the first couple weeks. But then I'm going to probably just get a mobile like Verizon, something that can go kind of everywhere.
So you went from a vegan diet to keto. How did your body react to that?
You know, I did some research to like see how my body would react, and I was really unsure if I would, you know, not be able to digest anything, but I didn't really feel any different. I did take enzymes just to make sure, but I didn't really feel any like discomfort or anything.
It was really nice to do the vegan because you learn a lot about like vegetables and how to cook vegetables and eat them. And once we went back to eating meat, it was really easy. It was like, oh, your fish, your greens, and then your other vegetable. And then like, yeah, no, we have a fridge in the van that's one of those just like front loading fridges. So it's like a little half.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's got a little freezer, but yeah, you're right. I mean, there's only so much space in that freezer, and it'll sometimes just be like a solid block of like frozen meats and seafood and stuff.
And then I think another thing that you run into is sanitizing things after you've used meat on something. Yeah, you really have to sanitize like your cutting boards and.
Yeah, we figured that one out quick. We were like, oh, we used way more water.
Oh.
Yeah, to wash off all your dishes
and stuff. For sure, we noticed that.
Yeah.
Because with the vegetables, you kind of just like dust off your stuff and you can kind of just spray it with the bottle or whatever. But with the meat, you kind of got to hit it with the sink, get the soap.
Some hot water.
Yeah.
So you guys did the spray bottle thing when it was just the vegetarian diet, right?
Yeah, and that's great.
Yeah, we still do a lot of spray bottle dishwashing though. Our buddy Van Jesus showed us that one, and we were like, "What are you doing over there?" And he's, and I was like, "That works pretty good, doesn't it?" He had vinegar and
you just the vinegar and water.
Yeah.
Ninja Foodie versus an Instapot. What's a Ninja Foodie?
Oh, the Ninja Foodie, I think, does more.
I think it's like a grill.
The only reason why we got the Instant Pot is because they make a mini one and it's very small. So it like fits in the van. I think those other units might be kind of big.
Oh, okay.
We really got the smallest thing, and we've cooked like whole chickens in the Instant Pot in the van. Like, it's fancy. It's 5-star hippies.
What are those really sentimental things that you have kept?
Yeah, I think I do just hold on to pictures. Those are easy to carry with you. And
Yeah, and our buddy Lee, we have him on our channel a lot. He's a hilarious guy. He's always giving us the Palo Santo incense sticks, and we'll hold on to those for a long time.
We don't really have too many sentimental things. Just stickers are a new thing that we collect now from all the van lifers we meet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're easy.
Yeah.
They don't take up much space.
Have you ever boondocked in Florida?
No.
We've never been to Florida. I've been, but we've never taken the van out there. Our good buddy Untitled Travels is out there, and we'd love to make it out there. In the winter, though, I don't know how you do summer van life out there.
You sometimes forget where you are when you wake up after traveling so much.
It happens all the time. Sometimes you'll wake up in the middle of the night and you'll race to be like, where am I? Where am I? What day is it? You know, like, I don't know why that happens, but it happens
all the time.
Yeah.
You know, like,
really?
We have no windows too, so you're kind of, I mean, we could be anywhere. We could be in a Walmart parking lot, you know.
Especially on the nights where you're like more like scrambling to park before dark and get a spot, or if it's already dark and then you wake up at like 4 in the morning and you're literally like, where are I? And then you figure out, oh yeah, we're on the side of the road in Moab or something, you know. Then you're like,
talking about being in different places and stuff and not having windows, like, have you ever had any really sketchy situations? Like, have you ever been nervous not knowing what's going on around you?
We actually have been extremely lucky, and we haven't really had anything happen. A few times we've had, like, this is a funny story. We had the cops called because we were parked somewhere we shouldn't just be parked, and
if we weren't staying there.
Yeah, and but it was at a hotel parking lot, and then they saw us coming to and from the van a bunch, the workers, so they called the cops. The cops show up, and they go, oh, we had a call for people doing narcotics in a white van. And then when we opened the door, the guy's like, but you guys aren't narcotics. He literally says, you guys are camping aficionados.
We were like making breakfast.
Yeah, we were making breakfast at the hotel parking lot. He's like, why don't you guys just get the free breakfast? And we're like, did you see the free breakfast? We started laughing, but we really haven't had any problems. And I hope not to have any, because and there's definitely been times where, you know, you're like, should we even park here? Like, it seems kind of weird, and if it's weird, we just leave. And yeah, we've been zero issues.
Where are you hoping to have your home base?
That has been like the whole thing with the van life, is trying to travel around and find something. And honestly, there's like some quote about like traveling and how it gives you fresh eyes for your home. You know, I don't know what the quote is, but I always think about it because I love Albuquerque, New Mexico now after traveling full circle and coming back, because there's not too many people here, and like there's nice trails and mountain biking. Stuff. Yeah.
Nice.
A lot of stuff I overlooked as a high schooler when I lived here.
A lot of wilderness, like 10 minutes away, you know, it's kind of weird.
I am just so blessed that you guys are willing to do this. I just want to thank you so very much.
Yeah, no, thank you. This has been so much fun. What an experience for our first time.